Pitch to Pro is the official podcast of Ozark United FC. This will be our platform to tell our story about the club and the special place that we call home, Northwest Arkansas. This is a journey. We want to bring you along for the ride. We'll share what's going on behind the curtain, help educate the community at large about soccer, our league, and give updates on the progress of the club along the way. Together, we'll explore and unpack our journey to professional soccer, the magic that is NWA, our community, and talk all things soccer from on the pitch to behind the scenes, telling the story of our club. Pitch to Pro podcast is proudly sponsored by podcastvideos.com. Podcastvideos.com is Northwest Arkansas's premier podcast recording studio. Equipped with industry-leading equipment, the recording studio and services save you time, money, and hassle. They are dedicated to helping you create, record, and publish high-quality podcasts for your audience. Be sure to check them out today at podcastvideos.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pitch to Pro podcast. I'm your host, Wes Harris, Managing Director of Ozark United FC, Northwest Arkansas's professional soccer club playing in the United Soccer League. Today, I have two guests joining me from the notorious Club América in Mexico City, playing in Liga MX and coming to Northwest Arkansas to play Tigres at the end of March. We'll talk about that in a second at Razorback Stadium. More on that later. Claudia y Quentin, buenas tardes y gracias por acompañarme. Bienvenidos a nuestro programa. Okay, y ahora al inglés. Thank you guys so much for coming. That's about all the Spanish I got in me. Maybe later we can talk if you talk much slower than normal.
Thanks for having us.
But how do you think about maintaining that status, right? Like, is that daunting, or do you, again, don't overcomplicate it and you just kind of keep doing the next best thing that you know how to do?
You want to? So I always say this. So, for example, when I talk to my wife or my parents or my siblings, is there is often this word in sports, and you will heard athletes mention like pressure. Yeah, what we experience is not pressure. Pressure is not knowing if you will have food on your plate for your family at night, and I'm very happy and very privileged not having that issue. So I don't think it's pressure. It's kind of a demand, like, permanent demand, and that we need to be leaders. We need to be the best version of ourselves as individuals, and at the sum of it as a club. But this is actually something I love. It's part of the values I got from my family as well, growing up, from my studies, and I've always tried to be my best version. I'm not saying I am. Hopefully, I'm not that old, so I hope I'll keep improving and trying to. But I think the club is the same. We want to have the best Club América we can, and this is actually an amazing North Star to have. It's sometimes it could be like, where do you start? What do you do to achieve it? It's because it's very ambitious in the right sense of the word, I think. But
100%.
But it's also very challenging. It's fun. It's intellectually demanding, and it's exciting. It's not for everyone, but I think in general, and you know that better than we do, is working in this industry in general is not for everyone, but like other industries are not. Like I couldn't survive in other industries. Exactly. Right? Like, I will never work in banking. No, I hope I don't have to one day. But you know what I mean. Like it's
we're saying everybody has the right skill set for the right roles at the right places.
Exactly.
Guys. We're not.
No,
right?
No, obviously. And I was using that example.
It's just like a football team.
My first date with my wife, I said, I work in football. Oh, but you work a lot. I said, yes, but it's because I love it and it's very exciting. I will never do that in banking. And she said, I have an interview. I have a job interview in a bank on Monday. And I was like, but it's not for everyone. I truly believe this. Like, you need to find your place in the world, and it's a very complicated world. So you
didn't know you were going to have such a deep conversation, did you? Like, existential conversation on a podcast.
Definitely not. I have mentioned my wife way more times than I usually do, because I want my private life to stay private, but that's true. That's why I was using that example. And my point is that is we're privileged to be at Club América.
Yeah.
We're very lucky. We have worked for it. We are still working to more than maintain the club where it is. We want it to grow, especially on the women's side, but also on the men's side. We want to do more and more, and that's what we work for. But I think having the possibility of waking up, looking for such an ambitious goal every day is just amazing, and every day is full of surprises and different things. I'm not saying that all days are very happy and perfect. That doesn't exist. There are days that we say, okay, I need to focus on this. There are days that it's overwhelming and you really don't know what should be your next step. But then, because we have this super group internally, we have this fantastic team to work with, really brilliant people like the team I have the privilege to lead. I'm amazed by the brain they have. Like you just met Pedro, of course, but Baptiste, who's accompanying us in this trip, like Jorge, Regina, like all the team, Edgar, obviously on the content side. Like I don't want to be unfair. There is a lot more people, but
all of his team.
Yeah, exactly. It's not because I'm talking about the team I lead, but in the rest of the club, and Claudia knows, like obviously the rest of the leadership team, like they're amazing. I get inspired by people at the club all the time and at every level. And I think this is probably the highest privilege we have, is we get inspired by people all the time. And again, I'm sure we're going to talk about the game, but
yes, we will. I swear.
But the game,
it was the whole point of it.
The game happened because we came here for a business meeting with one of our sponsors in the US, Latinas Beauty, which is a hair care product, and with their leadership team, and I was here with Joaquin Valcárcel, with our CEO, and the idea came after we met some people of University of Arkansas at dinner, and then we visited the stadium and the facilities and got just blown away because we had no idea. I'm not going to lie.
No, it's fine.
And we said, this is crazy. And we met Colby.
Yeah.
And then we saw the women's facilities and we say, okay, we need to bring the women's team here. That's how it started. And then we say, okay, we need to bring everyone and do a game at the American football stadium. And that without the push and that idea from our CEO, from Joaquin, it will never have happened, or from our sponsor pushing us and doing the introductions as well and just dreaming of doing big things together. So I think that's just fantastic. Like I don't think I can complain. We're really privileged. It is sometimes overwhelming, but I think everything interesting in life is like everything on your private life that is interesting is also sometimes overwhelming. And I became a dad less than 2 years ago, and
congratulations.
Thank you. And it is definitely overwhelming sometimes, but it's the most amazing thing. So I think it's just the way it works.
Yeah,
sorry for the very long answer.
No, listen, look, I love just coming in and learning about people and hearing their stories. And so don't apologize. Like there's so many good nuggets in there for not just football, right? But like, I think you have such a great perspective and refreshing perspective about just thinking about your work, your life, and how are you fitting in. It's the people around you. It's, can you support each other, and are you in the right environment to succeed and thrive? Do you have that support for below, equal, and above you? And there's so many parallels there that people can take, and I personally will take as well, and just try to remind myself, because it is a big task what we're doing here as well. Rewind 110 years and that's where we are, right?
I think yours is way out of
So we'll get there. We're doing all the things, guys, I swear. But you mentioned it, so let's talk about it. Golden Clash, and I'll pivot back to Claudia for a second. Let me ask a question. Is this the first women's match in the USA for Club América, or maybe no? Okay. Good. I should know this, but like I'm maybe in the state of Arkansas, probably.
As you mean, yeah, in the state of Arkansas it is, but I can proudly say that it's not our first.
I love that.
It's not our second. It's like our. I've lost the count, to be honest. So
See,
that's a big joy for us.
I apologize for my ignorance,
Don't
but
worry.
that's amazing. So I love to hear that even in just the 8 years or 10 years of the program, it also tells me you understand who your fan base is too. Right?
Yes.
Right? So
The first one was 2022.
Yeah, well, against a professional team because we did
It's college.
oh, okay. Yeah.
The first professional one was in 2022. And from there, we have done a lot.
a lot.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So talk about what, you're looking forward to about, let's talk about what is the Golden Clash? Let's remind people, Quentin gave a great background on kind of how it happened. So kind of Claudia, if you can kind of walk us through what the Golden Clash will be, and then Quentin can add his thoughts as well. But from a women's perspective, you guys are going to go up against Tigres and have some fun on the pitch, and obviously a little bit before and after.
And a big rivalry.
Come on, soccer's supposed to be fun, guys. Soccer's supposed to be fun. Come on.
It is. And like you mentioned at the beginning, it's a big rivalry in the pitch, but outside of it, we're all good and both great teams, and you need to expect from this game that it's going to be huge because it's to call it like that, it's the derby from the women's side.
Yeah.
I might call it like that because there's been a lot of finals between these two clubs. It's always a big and good spectacle.
Spectacle. Yeah. You got it right. You got it right.
It sounded weird.
In French.
You guys, by the way, I want to give you guys so much credit for just how easily you're just is flowing. And I know English is spoken everywhere and you kind of have to. Sorry. But truly, it's so weird speaking a different language than your native tongue and then having it echo. I mean, I'm telling you guys what you know, but
No.
I want to share that you're doing an excellent job. I
appreciate it.
And you absolutely had the word right, spot on. Spectacle.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one because, like we mentioned, women's game is growing a lot, and these two teams are investing a lot. It is a good thing that we bring this to the U.S. because, like Quentin mentioned in the beginning, this is an area that it's not. We always go to California,
Sure.
Texas, and now being here in Arkansas, I think it's a good place for people to get involved with the team, to know the level of the team, because sometimes they don't even know if we're a good team or will we perform well, and they're not used to Mexican women's soccer, right. So they can perceive the level and see that it's a good level, and the players are at their top. So it's gonna be a great match. We're happy to be here. We're excited for this match, and I want to invite to all the people and not only from Arkansas, from all the way around.
Yeah, no, and you will, by the way, you will. But I want to reiterate, you will.
Regarding the women's side, we want to inspire the new generations, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
That's another thing that it's in our heads all the time, because we know the potential of women's football. We know the capacity of building new connections and bring people in. So that we're more than excited for that.
It's so important for kids to be able to visually see the thing that they maybe want to be, or gives them a spark of something that they may want to be, right? Whether it's a scientist or an astronaut or a soccer player, right? And so that's why the expansion of, and again, a whole nother podcast, but the expansion of and the globalization of soccer and football and the broadcasting around the world for all these different leagues, the World Cup, et cetera, women's sports. That's why it's so important. And for these media companies to invest in ahead of its time, forget the balance sheet for a second, because it will come. And I think it's been proven right? And it's so important to continue to provide that visualization for people. And then experiences like this at the Golden Clash for especially girls, and not having as much representation, and being able to see that at a high level at a big event like this in an area like Northwest Arkansas, like that's, for me, I get chills. Like, I'm so excited. I really am. I love to see this type of event coming, but especially that the women are going to be a part of it, because I am a dad of 3, but I have 2 girls. And to be able to, I take them to the University of Arkansas women's games, and I show them, you know, they do love to play. I don't force them. I swear. They said they wanted to play, but for them to be able to see that, it, like, and there's 7 and 5, about to be 8 and 6, but they still get it at that age, you know. And you know, my 8-year-old says she wants to be a pro soccer player, and don't we all? But I love that, and we're so looking forward to being able to watch you guys on the field, hopefully for a victory. So on the you know, keep going on the overall event, and kind of why. I know why it makes sense, and you kind of give the background with the sponsor, and you've got the university here, you've got Walmart, and it's just this nice, you know, convergence of the 3. But also, we are in a little bit of a interesting kind of Dallas, Kansas City, Memphis, like triangle, you know, where in there is a lot of Club América fans that kind of have this opportunity to come to this really cool event.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what you both just mentioned, like for us, having the women's team here was not non-negotiable. Like it was part of the project since day one. Actually, it started with the women's team, and it which happens Club América a lot, is sometimes there are projects that start with the women's team, and we kind of bring the men's team on top of it afterwards, which all the complication that can happen, but that's also the fun part. But the game, so maybe just to remember the date, it's on March 28th.
What's the date again, Quentin?
March 28th.
En español, por favor.
28 de marzo.
There you go.
I can do it in French as well. But so yeah, that's we'll have a doubleheader, the women's team first, and then the men's team against Tigres. The 2 games will finish before the Mexico national team against Portugal men's game in Mexico. So people will have time to go back home to watch Mexico as well. That's planned.
Very good.
So very, very happy about that, to have the game again. It started like a dream, a kind of a crazy idea, so to speak, to do so. And then we realized, as Claudia mentioned perfectly, like we're used to play in the same places all the time. It's pretty logical why we do that, and because of the community that present there and the amount of fans we have. But then, for example, so in Leagues Cup, I think it was 2 years ago, I'm not sure, I went 2026 or maybe 3, I don't remember, but the summer, we play the group stage against St. Louis, Missouri, and Columbus, Ohio. So not known for being the places with the biggest Latino community, obviously, but it was packed with Club América fans. So Columbus was actually the place where the U.S. national team used to play against Mexico.
That's
because
their home.
Because there were not the same community to support the Mexican team. It's not working anymore. Like
so they figured it out, guys.
Yeah, if you check, we're at the hotel concentration.
Sorry, I had to.
No, it's fine. And we had the fans gathering at the hotel the night before the game, doing fireworks and everything. Like, so there is this big street in Columbus, and it was packed with Club América fans. So great experience. And then we started thinking. Then the women's team went to Louisville, to play the Women's Cup. That's, I think, actually when we played for the first time against their U.S. team. So
there you go.
And
shout out to Louisville.
Yeah. The tournament was great, and honestly, in the stands, maybe for games you had 2,000 to 3,000 people, and 90% of those were Club América fans coming to Kentucky. So, you know, like,
it's great.
And we start realizing, we say, we should go some other places also, and also bring the brand, bring the quality of the soccer that Clau mentioned, like the best team in the region, or one of the best team in the region sports wise. So to compete and to show also to people what soccer is about and what football is about as well. And then with the opportunity we had in Northwest Arkansas, when we saw the stadium, it was like a no-brainer. It was like you need to play in that stadium. Like you need to have an international soccer event, and if it can be us, that will be amazing. And we started working on that, and we know we're going to deliver, as you mentioned, an experience for our fans in Northwest Arkansas, but also in all the states that are nearby. And we know our fans are going to drive to come, but also for Tigres, so for our rival, for that game, and we work very closely with. They're a big fan base in Texas.
Huge.
So, of course, from Dallas and everything like that, that will be very interesting to experience. So, yeah, it's going to be different. The atmosphere is going to be great. We're very proud and very happy to bring Mexican football, to bring men and women football, to bring some of the top quality football you can experience, an international game to Northwest Arkansas. This is pretty exciting because it will be the first one in history. And to give you an example, we played with the women's team in Dallas against Dallas Trinity from USL, and we broke the record for a women's sports game audience attendance in Texas, and that was amazing.
So cool.
This was in October last year. Yeah. So cool. It's the kind of experience. So thinking of doing the first international soccer game in Northwest Arkansas, in Arkansas, actually, it's pretty exciting as well. So that's a kind of milestones in market that we look for as well, as a team and as a club. And again, very happy about it. And kudos to our CEO, to Joaquin, for pushing us and making this a reality.
That's awesome. And we're really looking forward to it. Again, March 28th. What do you think? I mean, this is going to do so much for us, by the way, selfishly, just being able to put on, and there's so many people. We have a very unique community where a lot of us are not from here originally, and we're from all over the world. But then there's still a very strong local base that, maybe are new to the game, and having the opportunity to go to this event and have that level of football being played. As you guys well know, football is, and I tell this to people all the time, it is unlike anything else that you've ever experienced live as a sporting event, especially a Mexican crowd. So I'm counting on it, by the way.
Yeah,
and because people can get to experience that, and then understand that's, I mean, obviously it's going to take us a while to get to your level, but that's what type of environment we're trying to emulate and we aspire to bring to our home matches, and, in just a few short years here. So I think, and kind of building upon that, the growth of the USL beyond, the major markets of MLS, you're kind of talking about something similar, which is the USL has found some joy in and some success, is that the US is a really big place. And there's a ton of people that are starving for pro sports and not have to drive 4 or 5 hours away to go and see it live. Yes, it's great on TV, but it's such a different experience live. And people, they want that. They crave that experience and that togetherness of experiencing that, with other people. What I guess I'm very roundabout kind of going to, what do you think, this match and what we're doing with Ozark United, like, and everything about Northwest Arkansas, what do you think a pro club like us is, could do for the region, or how do you think that fits in? I don't know. That's a very weird, broad question to ask.
No, it's great, and it will bring me to the actual game now that we have. So I kind of try to explain where it came from and why we did it, but not what the actual goal of the doubleheader. And Clau, please jump in. But you mentioned it. It's about community, and you. I'm very, very happy and proud that you mentioned you guys are actually going to help us, because not that you need it, but for us, it's about that. Like, we know the power of soccer, of sports in general, but of soccer particularly, and you mentioned it, to connect people. And connecting people, having people experience being able in their town, either, to me, it's irrelevant if they are from here or not. I'm a French guy living in Mexico for the last almost 12 years, so I don't know what it, and I feel Mexican in a lot of aspects. So
she's adopted.
Thanks. So for us is we want people to feel happy about being here, proud of living here, experience what soccer can bring, and having this community around soccer. Because sometimes, and that's happening in all stadiums worldwide, you go to a soccer game and people that have nothing in common apparently, or maybe should not be or will not be in the real life, so to speak, are sitting together and cheering for the same team, or competing against each other in a sportsmanship way. And that's amazing. So what can you bring? I think you need to keep building the momentum and continuing on that to bring people together, because a professional team, a team in general, but a professional team won't exist if it doesn't have the support of the community. And I think that's what you're building. You're building the community, and I think it's a very smart move, because when you actually start with the team and competing, you will already have a fan base. And I think to me in the US, a very good example. So I think on the women's side and WSL, you have more. But for example, in MLS, I think Portland Timbers, the atmosphere at the stadium, like the what they have created is just insane. In NWSL, of course, the example of not maybe in the stands, but the project as itself, like Angel City, obviously is very interesting. The project of Washington Spirit is just insane. So you really have, but they have built on community and what they have created, and that's the same we want to bring here. And I think it's the same that you're building as well from what we have been lucky enough to see. So
I love that. Fun fact, you mentioned the Timbers. So our co-founder, Warren Smith, he got into sports in minor league baseball in Sacramento, California. He got asked to the league, the Portland Beavers were in administration, and the league asked them to take them over. And they came with a little team called the Portland Timbers that was playing in the USL at the time. And they didn't know a single thing about soccer. And they actually, they played in a baseball stadium, in the Beaver Stadium that was publicly owned. So it was a public ownership of the stadium, the team, right? And so they got up there and they said, okay, we know how to turn around the baseball team. We know exactly what to do. There's, spending money in the wrong places, whatever. Easy. Okay, we'll get it right. We don't know anything about soccer. Let's just fold it. Let's close it. He literally tried to close the Timbers. Can you imagine? And the mayor wouldn't let him. And it's not just him. It was his team, right? Because they didn't know. They didn't know anything. Yeah. They didn't know. They were like, who are we to turn this around?
Actually pretty
right?
Honest.
Like, who are we to say what to do? We don't know anything about the sport. And the mayor said, I have like 600 Timbers Army people that will, mob my office if that happens. So please give it a year. Give it a year, do what you can, and see what we can do. And that's how he became a soccer fan, is because he went out to bars and restaurants and just had a beer with the fans. And what do you guys want? Right? And how can we turn this thing around? What do you need? What can we do? How can we help? And it was the relationship that is so different between the fan and the club in soccer. And you guys know this, and you, especially on the marketing side, more than anybody, it's so different than any other sport. It's so unique, and you can't understand it until you are at a live match, really. But that is a fun, as you said earlier, parentheses. But can you, one of the most successful, clubs in the US, and known for their environment and their passion and their fan base, and they were like that close to, So it's too funny, but and it is also what got Warren into soccer, which has been the majority of his career. and he played one game of soccer in his career, and it was for a minute, and he broke his leg, and he never played again. but he's like done this 4 or 5 times in the USL, so it's pretty funny. But let's wrap this up here. We're getting a little long-winded on my end, so I apologize. But one of the final things I wanted to talk about, and I really appreciate all your words, and just to kind of reiterate on your point, it's all about the people. It's all about community. It's all about doing good together, lifting up our community. I mean, it's literally in our mission statement. Is to uplift our community through football, make it a better place to live, work, and play. That's why we exist. It's not to win soccer matches on the pitch, right? So
it helps.
Right. Success on the pitch helps, guys. Like winning, like, yes, it does. We're going to be co-hosts of the largest sporting event in the world this summer. Mexico, US, and Canada with the World Cup. Are you guys involved in any of the planning? Is it a little bit nuts? Give me like a little tiny tidbit of what's going on there.
But I have to mention that hopefully we'll be co-hosts in 2031.
31, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the women's
World Cup.
Yeah.
100% correct.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the club became the first club in history to become a host city supporter. So we're actually a host city supporter of Mexico City for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're participating in the activities of the city around the World Cup, the official one with FIFA, so the Fan Fest and the cultural museums activations and other activities. So we're very happy and very proud about it as well. Obviously it makes sense for us because so Maradona in '86 with the Argentinian national team actually trained at our club facilities before winning the World Cup at the before Azteca Stadium, no Banorte Stadium. Pelé won with Brazil as well the World Cup before that at the same stadium, our stadium, and now it's getting under heavy renovations to host and to be the only stadium in the world to host a third World Cup. So Maracanã in Brazil will have 2, and the Banorte Stadium will be the only one with 3.
Yeah.
So we are very proud of this, and being able to play at that stadium before that and after is just amazing. So I know we are all focused. Not at the club is not our main responsibility, obviously, but we support our friends from the stadium to have the stadium ready for the inauguration game, Mexico, Portugal, and then for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty exciting, definitely, and hoping that the Mexican national team will do a great job, and we're rooting for them, and show the quality of the Mexican footballers, because honestly, it's an amazing country of football, and I can say it even more than I'm not.
No, you
born in Mexico.
No, you are,
and I'm gonna be rooting for France, obviously, for a third final in a row. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, and it's okay if you pick Mexico. That's fine. Who's gonna win World Cup?
I need to pick Mexico. You know that.
I said it's okay. It's okay to call the home. It's okay to call the home call.
And I'm gonna take my
I know.
I'm rooting for France, and I think France has good chances, but there are others.
It's an interesting one for me this year, because for me, it's a year where I don't think there's a really out and out favorite or couple of favorites. It's very kind of on par with each other for the top 10 to 15. And there's even some dark horses in there in the 20s.
There will be surprises, because you have so many teams and so many games.
Yeah,
it's the first one with so many games. I think you will have big surprises.
We better make it out of our group. That's all I have to say.
I think Mexico and the US.
We must.
But if we don't, guys, what are we doing? We're not going to get it for another 75 years. But listen, Claudia y Quentin, gracias. I really appreciate you both joining me today. I really, really enjoyed our conversation. And I mean, we could sit here and talk for hours about football.
Definitely.
We cannot wait to see Club América take the pitch against Tigres again on March 28th at the University of Arkansas, Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Where can people go to find tickets and more information about the match?
So either on Club América /boletos or on the university website as well. They can purchase the ticket directly there, and they'll get information obviously on our social networks, Club América, and let's do the next podcast in Mexico City so you can come to a game, experience the atmosphere of the stadium, and then, I don't know, maybe do one with some of our players or something.
Brush up on my Spanish.
We have players speaking English, so you're good.
No, if I'm going to Mexico City, I gotta speak Spanish.
Pretty well already, so
no.
I will not be worried.
Thank you. It's quite kind of you. Listen, thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Pitch to Pro. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to head to pitchtopro.com or Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts for more content. Follow us at Pitch to Pro on all major platforms. And until next time, cheers, Northwest Arkansas.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Pitch to Pro podcast. Be sure to tune in again in 2 weeks for the next installment. And check out the Stoppage Time series for a recap of today's episode. Be sure to find us at Pitch to Pro on YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere you get your podcasts. Until next time, Northwest Arkansas, cheers.